Hello and welcome to my channel. In today's episode, I will walk you through another way of uploading an Excel in RAP where we have different data types. Some of you have reached me facing problems with the earlier SAP RAP Excel upload video that I have created, wherein in that scenario, there was no complexity of date and stuff like that. So I have shown you that way, but people are not able to understand it. They have asked me how we can actually go and create or an application that will read the Excel wherein it has a different data types. As you can see, the file that I will be using will be having a date of birth, as you can see that has been highlighted, and date of birth is of a different type, not a string type. Okay, so we need to understand how we should actually cater to these kind of scenarios. Moreover, I have also calculated my age here. That also you can do when you are actually importing the data. So some of the determinations you can do, some of the master data checks also you can do. If you are getting, say, for example, a material in your Excel file that does not exist in the system before actually uploading, you can do all those validations and show them the errors as well. All those different kind of things you can do using this approach now that I'll be showing you. The uh, approach will be same as what we have done in our Excel upload in RAP. If you have not watched my video, I would suggest you watch that video wherein I have actually gone and explained in detail on how to actually code your RAPs so that the file status will be changed, the data will be uploaded, stuff like that, right? Uh, so that when you come to this uh, video, you know what we are talking about. So let us now get into the application and see how the application is working for us. So let me go to our browser. Okay, and this is the application that I have created, guys, similar to what we have there earlier. Go nothing as of today. Okay, so create one. Now, whenever you create, you will get the person responsible. Okay, last change at is not coming up. Okay, but that we will have to see how it is and stuff like that. I'm not actually going and checking everything there. The idea is that I want to show you to upload an Excel file with proper data with different types like date and stuff like that. So let me first select click on upload data, and you see it also says that select file to upload. Okay, now I am going and selecting a file that is a wrong file. The file has a different format. Okay, and I'm trying to upload. It will give me the wrong format. This we have seen in our last video as well. Okay, now I am just deleting this, and then I am selecting my contact upload Excel file. And now when I say upload, okay, it will actually upload the data, and it will show me uh, gender, DOB, okay. And I have also added a facet that will actually show me the data here. And you see age is now calculated for me. Okay. Now let me show you the template of the Excel data that I have created for my purpose. Okay. For my purpose. So that, but this will be different for you guys. Okay. This will be completely different. So let me show you that. And this is what my template is. Okay. And this template that I am showing you now is having, as you can see, first name, middle name, last name, gender, date of birth in dd.mm.yyyy format or dd/mm/yyyy format, but it should be ddmmyy format. We have a telephone number that will be 10 digits and a email. Okay, so this is what I am actually getting in my application. Okay, so let me now go to our application again. I've come here. Let me go to my application and show you how this works, whole thing works. Okay, now as you have seen that, okay, whatever we have here, you can actually create your entries and that will be saved to a database table. Okay, you can again discard, you can come back. If you come back, this will be shown that, okay, file is uploaded. Okay, and then the data will be used here. Okay, some of the last use is not coming. You just check with my earlier video on how we should get it. Maybe while copying, I might have missed something. So since I wanted to show you quickly because people are actually stuck here, I just thought of, okay, just copying it and doing the changes that is needed. Now, let me just go and show you what I have built in the system and what are the differences that we have here. So let me now go to my Eclipse and start showing you what I have built here. Let me close everything. Now, first thing that I have done is I have actually taken a database table for my Excel user. That is what we have already. But in my Excel data, now the structure is completely changed. And you see, we have a gender there. Okay, that gender is again having, if you can see, is having a domain, and that domain has our first name, male, female, and all those things, right? This is similar to what we have used. The same table I have used here, which we have used in our managed scenario, guys, because it has got different uh, kind of data type there. Okay, especially the date is the problem, which will always have an issue. Okay. Now, based on that, I have just created my interface, and that interface is pretty easy with whatever we had, and again linked with a composition to my data. And that Excel data is having an association to parent with my user. Okay. And the field names are changed here now. Okay. I've used the new field names with date field as well in. And on top of it again, uh, projection uh, a projection view that we have to create, and this projection view will have our large object as an attachment redirected to composition child data, and similarly the projection view for our Excel data which will be redirected to parent. Okay, let me show you a bit bigger, which will be redirected to parent. Okay, same thing that we had earlier, guys. There is no change here except for the field names. Okay. Now, behavior, then we will have a behavior as usual with draft, everything there, upload Excel, fill file status, fill selected status, upload Excel. Okay. This is the one which you have to add because this will actually use the side effect to fill in the table that when we upload it. And and it will be shown in that particular table below, right? As usual, since draft, this many things and mapping, exactly similar, no change there, guys. Okay. The only thing that I have done here is field read only. I have marked everything as read only because I don't want the user to go and change anything, right? Of course, if you want, you can provide the edit functionality. It's up to you. but I will not be using. I'm just marking everything as read only. And then there is one action that I have copied, but nothing will be done there. Okay. Now, and on top of it, we have a projection behavior. Important thing is use draft and use side effect. If you don't use it, nothing will work, guys. Okay. The auto refresh will not happen. So you'll have to use side effect. Okay. And now update and delete, I'm just not projecting it outside. Okay. I'm just projecting my uh, create there. Okay. Because it is actually linked with there is no way to stop that. Now, once this has been done, final thing is we create our service definition, again exposing both the projection views, and then on top of it a service binding with version of OData v4, guys. Okay, v4 OData. Now why v4? Because we are using large object. Large object will be coming with a draft functionality. We need a draft functionality because uh, we are using the large object. And now since we are using the draft functionality, we can only go with version UI OData of UI version 4. Okay, so that is the reason UI version 4 you'll have to create. This we have seen already. Now, some of you are not able to actually create version 4. Remember that last object will be uh, applicable or is actually available after version 2208 onwards. Okay, if you are on the older version, the large object might not work for you. Okay, so now once this is done, then we can actually preview our application and we have seen how it works. Now, the important thing that we need to go and understand here is that in our Excel, in our class, okay, in our class. Now, in our class, what I have done is there is a difference here now. You see, previously we only had everything with string, everything with string. Okay, even if you don't use this also, that is fine. Okay, now apart from that Excel data structure that I have gone and actually shown you there earlier with everything string, I have also created one other structure which is exactly of the data type of the particular database table, and with two additional field that I need to display, because line ID and line number is not there in my table, but it is needed when I am displaying it on the uh, UI screen, right? On the presentation server, on the presentation layer. Now, so this is exactly the same type of the database table and two line ID. Okay. This is the additional change that I have added now. Okay. And in our actual upload Excel data, you see, before we go there, I have just created two more private methods for myself. One is to convert the date from a string to actual date. The second one is to calculate the date of the age from the date of birth. Okay. Now, all our fill file status, file selected is exactly the same. We are not changing anything. It is exactly the same that we had already seen. And you can see that in my either uh, call call BAPI in API, that also has the same functionality, everything same there, or Excel upload in RAP, that video also you can watch. Okay. The important thing that we need to understand here is that, okay, this early numbering will actually create the end user and the file ID that we have seen. But in my Excel upload, now I have created, previously we were having only LT Excel data, okay, of that type. Now we also have LT actual data of GTY actual data, and also a work area for that particular type. So I'm creating LT actual data as well. And my LT data is of my entity type. Okay. Now, first thing, what I have done is, as you might have seen, I had shown you my Excel. It will have first name, middle name, last name, gender, date of birth, telephone, and email. Okay. And in my Excel, it was having upper, lower, right? That's fine. But while checking, I will be checking with the uppercase only. Okay. Now, how that is been done? Of course, we just read the file entity data, our Excel user, the main file, and we check whether the attachment is there or not. Okay. If the attachment is not there, I am saying select file to upload as a message and returning back. Pretty easy. If we have the attachment selected, okay, then the next step is to read it. And this is exactly similar to what we had earlier till this part. And if here also maybe we can say if the LTXL is initial, then we can say that there is nothing there. Okay. No data to be shown or something that you can show, but I'm not doing it here. I leave it up to you. Now, validate header. The first thing you remember, we were doing with case uh, uh, when psi index is equal to 1, then LV uh, has error, yes or no, stuff like that, right? That I'm not doing here. What I am doing here is that since I have already defined my Excel column header, which is nothing but this column header, LC Excel column header, okay, for each and every component that we have, I am just looping that many component, right? And in my case, the Excel has got 7 columns. So what it will go, it will just go and read the Excel first line. This we are doing for the first line only. You see, LT Excel first line we are taking in an LS Excel. So first line, first component will be read, which is nothing but a first name. At the same time, I am also taking the first component of my LC Excel column header, which is exactly the same type, same what you say, same sequence of the Excel file that I have. First name, middle name, last name, gender, DOB, telephone, email, right? So I am just coming here, reading the Excel column header, okay? And if my Excel column header is there, I'm converting it to uppercase in LV header. Now, if they both are not equal, then I'm just appending my wrong file format. First error you get, you just come out of it by making LV has error is equal to above true. And then here you check if the LV error is above false, yes or no, and then only you proceed. So when we cover this, right, there is no errors. I'm deleting my first line because that's the header line we have already processed for our formatting. We don't need it now anymore. Second thing is I am also deleting all the records where first name and last name both are initial. There might be some blank lines in between. I'm trying to eliminate that as well. Okay. So now, once we have, then we have to loop it. Okay. Here also you can actually check if LTXL is initially yes or no because you have read everything and deleted all the data. Your file was blank, so there is nothing there to actually go and upload. But that is fine. This loop will take care. So now, what is the actual thing that we are doing here? This is the logic, guys. Okay. To convert your Excel data to your actual data. How I am doing it is again, we know how many number of columns we have. I am looping for the Excel data. I have just created a line ID for me and site tab index will be my line number. Okay. And now for one file, I'm just creating one line ID because I am also using line number to actually demonstrate that it is record number 1, 2, and 3. So one line ID is generated here, and site abx is the line number. So incrementing 1, 2, 3, 4. And now for each and every column of LSXL, I am getting the Excel column field here, not header. It should be column value probably. Okay. And just check whether the column value is there, yes or no. Okay, column value, and this needs to be defined on the top. Or I can use the same also, that's fine. Okay, same thing we can use, because I don't want to go and create one more field symbol. Okay, now if that is assigned, take the value, condense it, because sometimes what happens is the first name or especially the date of birth, the user might have pressed space and then, so sometimes it comes in a very wrong way. So it's always better to condense it so that the uh, additional spaces are removed. And then I'm just checking if my first, which column I am actually working on as of today. If you say if it is first name, we just move it to first name, middle name, last name, gender. But in case of DOB, I am just converting it by passing the value. The, the string to date conversion is happening in date conversion. Let me show you how I am doing that. So if you say I am just going checking whether the date is provided, yes or no, first thing. If it is provided, is it provided in the right format? That means it should have dd.mm.yyyy. So I'm just checking str length. Okay. Here, if that str length is greater than, then I'm just concatenating year, month, and date into my return value. Okay. And that will actually give me the exact value here as YYYY format. This is nothing but the internal format in which the data has been, the date is being stored by SAP. At the same time, when since I'm getting the age, I am calculating the age also since I'm getting the DOB. And the same formula, guys, we have seen this in my, you can watch my video on managed scenario on determinations, where we have actually gone and determined the age. Same logic I am applying here and just passing back the value to the calling the calling line, and the age will be actually returned here. Telephone and email is a direct assignment. Simple. You can actually go and validate also. And now active, I am always keeping it as yes for myself. Okay. Now using this, previously we were using LT here, right? We were using LT to loop in the data and fill our LT data, which is nothing but our entity data. It will have CID, draft, all right? All those things it will have. So now what I am doing is, if you see LT data, I am preparing for my child entity by passing the CID reference from the keys, end user, file ID, everything that we have seen in our earlier video as well. But here the change will be, things will be different. Okay. I am just passing line ID, line number, first name from my actual data, guys. Okay. Once this is actually done, then I'm, as usual, I am reading whatever is there already. If you have uploaded once, then I am just deleting that by using the uh, by reading it and then deleting it. So modify entities with delete operation. Okay. If you don't know the email, please go and visit my understanding EML series, where I have actually explained each and every uh, EML statement that we have used in great detail there. So do go and watch that as well. Now, once that is done, we are deleting, adding new entries, and then just passing it back in the result. Okay. I am also changing the file status to file uploaded. and then the result, final result is sent back. Okay. So this is what we already uh, have done the changes with. Okay. So with that, I would like to stop here, guys. Hope you will be able to understand the difference why you want to actually create your own actual data and then move it to your entity. When especially when the types are different, currency is different, right? All those things you can actually check. You can do your validations as well if you needed. So depending on your thing, don't again come and tell me that, sir, I'm not able to actually understand. What should I do here? Concept is learn the concept, guys. When the concept you learn, it is always easier to go and do the coding yourself. Okay. So the concept is you read your Excel data. For that, you create one uh, structure that will always have string value as your type. You create a second structure that will be exactly of the type that you have for your data that you want to upload. It can have date, you can have date time, timestamp, it can have currency, it can have uh, like amounts like DMBTR, WRBTR, all those things you can use here. There might be a limitation if you are using a trial account. In that case, you can check. But those kind of things you can do now and create a internal table which is a actual data by first reading the Excel file. Everything will come in Excel as a string. Okay. And then second time, what will happen? Second run. Uh, First, we check the format from the first line. Second, from the second line onwards, we just remove everything where the data is blank and take only those data and loop that data and create your actual data by converting the Excel string in case of date to the actual date format. Similarly, if you want to actually have a timestamp, depending on, you have to keep on adding your methods to convert those values from string to the values needed. Character type can be easily taken in, no worries in it, right? Numeric also, the values you can from string you can actually directly pass, so not an issue, right? All those things you'll have to check. Wherever there is a problem, go and try to convert that data and create your actual data. And using that actual data, now you create your entity. Okay. And then it will be easier. Hope this was self explanatory. You were able to understand. If try it out, if you still have some questions, uh, please comment. I will try to reply as early as possible. Requesting you to please do like, share, and subscribe to my channel. Hit the bell icon. Please share it to others as well, so that they also get benefited. Uh, please do like the things, because then it will be shown to the other uh, users as well. With that, I would like to stop here. Thank you and happy learning.